Okay, Chris. So we're talking a lot about these air barriers, the different ways to do like your continuous system. So I mean, you can do it like traditional wrap.
Yeah.
You can have like fully applied peel and stick membranes,
Yeah.
right? You can have like fully sprayed
Liquid applied,
over
yeah,
the
yeah,
shedding,
yeah.
and you have like mixed combos of these different things.
Yeah.
So what is your call at the end of the day? Which one you pick the first to consider, like in your projects?
I use this same analogy with insulation. Is that we're talking about using continuous insulation here, and the price per R value per value of R per value of thermal resistance per square foot is when you look at the value of that or the cost of that versus and that's continuous insulation because you have no thermal bridging. That means no studs interrupting our thermal control layer. And then, but if you put stuff into the cavity of the wall of the assembly, and to get that done properly, the right way, it's sort of like top-notch installation where it's filling the cavity perfectly. You don't have compression, you don't have gaps, you don't have to cut around and leave gaps between the electrical fixtures and the studs and that sort of thing. To get that done just right, the amount of labor that goes into doing that, and to get the R value that you need, the same R value, you have to go extra thick on that wall. You might have to do a 2 by 12 wall to get the same R value that you might get out of a 3 or 4 inch assembly with exterior or 3 or 4 inch continuous insulation, because it's continuous, uninterrupted. You're not losing heat at every stud. The same thing with the product like this is the amount of time that you put into installing the house wrap, like the roll product, to do it the right way, even the recommended manufacturer's way, or the way it's the best practices based on building science. To do it the right way, which this is again forgiving because it's got all the right way already built into it. It ends up being, I've heard different things. As a builder myself, I've priced it both ways. As the architect working with builders, I've heard them say, some say that, oh yeah, the zip is still more than house wrap over OSB. For the most part, generally, lately, I've been hearing that this ends up being the same or less because of the labor, savings. And that's a huge thing. Same with the continuous insulation. You're not having to go into every cavity and get it just so continuous. You stack it like bricks. I mean, it just goes up. It can go up super fast. And so when you weigh those differences, and when you're truly comparing apples to apples, you end up with some savings with this. Now, that's not every builder, because some installers are going to charge more for whatever reason. So it's not just a given, but for the most part, we're hearing from other builders that yes, this is their preferred because it does save them, because they've got a crew that just takes care of it, and they do it so fast. It's just done, and then they can start putting in windows sooner, and they can it's an effective way of saving time and money, essentially. Well, Danko, thanks for coming out to another one of our cool projects. Yeah, man, we're gonna be sharing a lot on this channel. I mean, all of our respective channels at Sawhorse, LG Squared, Home Performance Workshop. They're gonna be sharing something. Corbett Lunsford. There's a lot of stuff we're gonna be learning on this project and sharing it with everybody, and we'll have links to all those sites below. We'll have information about your product. There is a great interactive virtual walkthrough of this project that we're going to be adding to with these videos. I mean, it's a great process to follow, so anybody that's watching now can just be sure to follow along. We really appreciate everybody's participation and help, and we're going to share all the stuff we learn. I know screwed up, all the successes, all the failures, all that stuff that we're learning along the way, so we can share that with the world, and then show how we're learning from it and make it, because we're never perfect, and we want to make a better world. So
everybody does. I mean, I'm really happy to be today here because this is probably, I would say, the largest zip project I've seen with the liquid flash all over the place. So
Cool.
And I'm just curious to see how it's going to do on Moto too.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm gonna find out real
it's
soon.
learning. It's a little different. It's real world is real world, and the STM lab tests are completely different things. So
Cool.
I'm excited.
Thanks, man.